Some of your supporters are disappointed that your campaign has yet to catch fire the way they would want in terms of polling. One Republican pollster, one who is sympathetic to you, I was asking her about your campaign, and she said she thought the issue was you bumped up at the beginning because voters, Republican voters, saw you as a more electable conservative like Trump, Trump without the baggage. But then they say as you go further and further to the right on some of these divisive social issues that could alienate moderates, suburban moms, et cetera, Republican voters see you as less and less electable. What do you say to that analysis?
Well, I don't think it's true. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, I took a state that had been a 1-point state and we won it by 20 percentage points, 1.5 million votes. Our bread and butter were people like suburban moms.
Yeah, that might be true. It might be that there are some hyper-conservative suburban moms in Florida that liked his stuff, but what he can't deny is what he focused on in that race was that extreme social cultural stuff that Jake Tapper's talking about. And look, he can say, I don't think it's true that will make me less electable in the general election were I to become the Republican nominee. I think he's wrong, but he can claim that. What he can't claim is that this is clearly what Republican voters think. He has gone super hard into the exact same sort of culture war stuff, choosing a marginalized group and then trying to obliterate it that he did in Florida, and it isn't helping him. And look, he can say whatever he wants, but do you know where he's saying it? He's saying it on CNN with Jake Tapper. He never did any of these interviews before. He was always just on right-wing news. He clearly is changing up his strategy because his strategy isn't working. That's how that actually goes, and I think he's demonstrating it. Jayar, what do you think?
Well, it's only like part of the strategy. That's the other thing though, right? So he's saying the same things he was saying, still pushing these culture war issues, when oddly, all the things that they say they were gonna campaign on, actual bread and butter issues that Americans care about and are struggling with. They had tapped into some of those. The problem was that they had no intention of ever changing or doing anything about those things. So now they have to abandon it and go back to normal campaign rhetoric, which is back to the culture war stuff. But the half of the changing it was not changing that messaging, only changing where he's saying it. So you go to CNN and act like you haven't been saying this when that's been the drumbeat of your entire existence as a national figure, is being this guy who's pushing the same things Trump has. Again, he's trying to find some kind of difference between him and Trump. And I think he found something with claiming that Trump is all about the LGBTQ plus community, right? Yeah. That didn't fly because everyone knows how much BS that is. And in fact, it made him look even worse. So he's finding himself cornered because he's cornered himself. You're this guy, it's a typecast thing. He's like a child actor who had the one hook line and never could escape that role again because that's all he ever said. So now that you're 25 years old and you're trying to be a serious actor, all anybody ever sees is your old hook line of, I hate everybody. So if that's your hook line, bro, you can't get away from it anymore. Ron DeSantis, child actor, hook line, I hate everybody. Yeah. That's just what it is.
No, like an incredibly homophobic ad comes out. Did I do that? Yeah, your side.
What you talking about, Ron?
By the way, I kind of avoided commenting on it because I just wanted to see what people thought. But if you were Ron DeSantis, don't use the expression, the proof is in the pudding. Does that need to be said? Of all of the idioms, and I get it, I love idioms. I've actually often thought about launching a podcast that just dives into the origins of idioms because I find them that fascinating. But if you're Ron DeSantis, keep your fingers out of that particular idiom would be my advice.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.